Western Wisconsin is my district. Our economy is based, for the most part, on farming and manufacturing. So manufacturing is a very significant part of what we do in central and northern Wisconsin. And when I'm talking to our manufacturers, I hear a couple of different things. I am hearing things about how there is a need to find skilled labor, and there's an issue of finding skilled labor that can address the needs that they have in their industries. But then also the uncertainty that you've all referenced as well, uncertainty that's coming from potential tax increases. What's going to happen with insurance rates? Where's our inflation rates going to go? And then red tape and regulation that's coming from Washington. Those are all things that I'm hearing from our manufacturers that make it more difficult, I think, for them to expand and grow and hire. But going to the points that we're talking about today with regard to education, is there a for the point blame, if you want to call it blame, on a certain sector? Don't we want our education institutions to look to the manufacturing base to say, what skills do you need, and then provide these educated kids that are coming through their institutions with a proper education? Or do we look, where are we pointing the blame here is basically my question, if there's blame to be thrown around. And Mr. Holzer?
I'd rather not throw blame.
Yes,
but frankly, I mean, I come from the world of higher education. It's not a system that is oriented towards industry, towards meeting industry needs. The liberal arts system, which often prepares undergraduates for further graduate study, and there's things to be said about that because they get strong general skills. But you might think that our two-year colleges, and actually Wisconsin has one of the best technical college systems, which I think is well oriented towards industry. But so many of our community colleges don't think of themselves as institutions feeding industries in the labor market. They think of themselves as institutions of higher education, and their primary aspiration is to feed the four-year system with students. So I don't know if I would blame them, but again, I would prefer to see a set of incentives developed where they pay more attention to the industries in their states. As Mr. Painter said, that the data are increasingly available if people want to look at it, and the incentives could perhaps be realigned to encourage more of that.
And I've seen that firsthand. I mean, North Central Technical College in Wausau is one who reaches out to the manufacturing base and says, what needs do you have? How can we provide a program to our students that are going to meet the needs of your business? And I guess I don't know that we need to provide more programs from government to encourage other institutions to do that. Hopefully they would look at different states where technical colleges are successful and try to modify their programs to or like the programs that are being successful in other areas of the country.
You see, these community colleges can turn on a dime. They don't have tenured professors. If people sign up for the courses, then frequently the courses are offered. But if they don't sign up for the courses, then it's difficult for them to offer them. We need more information to these students and to young people, saying, you know, if you want to be a welder, that's going to pay $60,000 a year. I think most kids don't know that. There is, however, a problem with some community colleges turning away applicants for high-return fields such as nursing. They're overwhelmed with nursing students, and they cannot meet that demand, and that would be something that they need to look at.
And to that point, I hear some of my manufacturers say, listen, you're driving in a certain quality of student into this field when we need some smarter, higher educated kids to come into manufacturing, because these are high skilled jobs. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's our high schools or our colleges aren't driving some of the better performing students into these fields. Mr. Martin?
Yes. Your question was on blame. As a manufacturer and engineer, I'll talk about root cause. There you go. And it's a very complex problem, so I don't think there's one. But I'm very encouraged that the question was raised about the input side into the technical schools and the community colleges, and that being high schools. And we have gotten to a metric system, Doctor, that brought up a well-meaning metric system that has driven our high school administrators to be totally measured on the number of students in GT programs, AP programs, and their performance in getting kids into four-year colleges. Congressman Lipinski raised Germany as an example earlier today of a market that has not lost the skill set. They've not lost the manufacturing base. In Germany, it is a very desirable thing to go down that path of becoming a journeyman, a technical person that works in the welding industry, the electronics industry, the running CNC machines, being a tool and die maker. We have gotten to where there's been a stigma on the fact that if you don't go to a four-year college, you're a failure. And that's really, I think, very fundamental in getting at the demand piece for what the junior colleges are teaching. If people are coming to them and wanting the trades, they're going to offer that.
I yield back.
Thanks, Congressman. We'll go